Where's Dog the Bounty Hunter now? The story you haven't heard. For years, Dog the Bounty Hunter was a household name. The fearless, loud, and relentless man chasing down fugitives across the country. But lately, he's been nowhere to be seen. What happened to the larger-than-life personality who dominated reality TV? And why has he suddenly disappeared from the spotlight? In this video, we're diving deep into the untold story behind Dog's sudden absence, the personal battles he's faced, and what the future might hold for this infamous bounty hunter. Stick around, because what you're about to learn might just surprise you. Dog Chapman's story isn't just about chasing fugitives. It's about transformation, resilience, and a relentless drive to rewrite his destiny. Born in Denver, Colorado in 1953, Dog's early life was far from easy. He grew up surrounded by hardship, including brushes with crime and time spent in prison. In fact, in 1976, Dog was convicted of first-degree murder related to a botched drug deal and served 18 months of a 5-year sentence. Most people would have been defined by such a dark chapter, but Dog saw it as a turning point. The moment he would choose a different path. After his release, Dog found his calling in the gritty world of bounty hunting. This wasn't just a job to him. It was a way to walk the line between law and rebellion, between danger and justice. In the late 1980s into the 1990s, he built a reputation in places like Hawaii and Colorado, tracking down fugitives with a mix of street smarts, guts, and an unusual blend of tough love and spiritual guidance. What really put Dog on a national stage happened in 2003, with the capture of Andrew Luster, the heir to the Max Factor Cosmetics fortune. Luster had skipped bail multiple times and was accused of serious crimes, including assault. Dog and his team tracked him all the way to Mexico, where they apprehended him. The capture was dramatic and risky, and not without its complications. Mexican authorities arrested Dog and his crew for unlawful detention, but the media storm that followed only added to his growing legend. Suddenly, Dog was being hailed as a modern-day vigilante hero. This surge of attention caught the eye of TV producers. In 2004, A&E premiered Dog the Bounty Hunter, a reality show that wasn't just about catching criminals, but about the complex stories behind those arrests. The series featured Dog's family, including his wife Beth Chapman, who became an essential and beloved part of the show's appeal. Viewers saw more than just fugitive hunts. They witnessed a man driven by redemption, forgiveness, and second chances. For 8 seasons, the show captured millions of viewers, transforming Dog into a cultural icon. His trademark look, the blonde mullet, sunglasses, and leather vest, became instantly recognizable. His catchphrases, tough demeanor, and the way he mixed brutality with heartfelt moments made for addictive television. Dog wasn't just chasing down bad guys. He was offering them a shot at turning their lives around. That delicate balance of force and compassion kept audiences glued to their screens. But behind the cameras and catchphrases, the pressures of fame began to show. The very public life Dog built started to reveal cracks beneath the surface. The intense spotlight brought personal challenges, controversies, and legal battles that would complicate his legacy in ways few could predict. Dog's rise from a troubled youth to a beloved bounty hunting star is a story of grit and reinvention. But as his fame grew, so did the shadows that would soon follow. The journey was far from over, and the next chapters will be far darker and more complicated than anyone expected. After dominating cable TV for years, Dog's career hit a rough patch marked by controversy and public scrutiny. As his fame grew, so did the spotlight on his personal life and professional choices, and not all of it was flattering. One of the earliest major blows came from a 2007 scandal when Dog was arrested in Colorado for kidnapping and using a stun gun on a fugitive he was trying to capture. The incident sparked a legal battle that, while it didn't lead to charges, raised questions about his methods and respect for the law. Critics accused him of crossing the line from bounty hunter to vigilante, blurring the boundaries between justice and reckless behavior. At the same time, Dog's public image took a hit from revelations about his past. In 2003, just as his fame skyrocketed, news broke about his prior conviction for murder, which he had openly talked about, but many fans hadn't fully grasped. This complicated his hero persona and forced him to explain his journey of redemption repeatedly. Then came the darkest cloud of all, legal troubles within his own family. Dog's son, Leland Chapman, and other family members were arrested on charges related to bounty hunting practices. These incidents made headlines and dragged the family's reputation through the mud. The public began to wonder if the Chapman clan's rough-and-tumble lifestyle was causing more harm than good. Dog's personal life was also under a microscope. His marriage to Beth, while strong, faced challenges, including rumors of infidelity and financial struggles. The stress of constant travel, filming, and media attention put a strain on the family. Even though Dog and Beth remained together, cracks were visible beneath the surface of their united front. Perhaps the most damaging controversy was Dog's involvement in racially insensitive comments and actions over the years. From the early days of his show, he was criticized for using language and making statements that many considered offensive. These incidents, often played out on social media or during heated moments, alienated parts of his audience and opened him up to accusations of bigotry. By the late 2010s, Dog's public image was no longer the unblemished hero it once was. Networks and sponsors began distancing themselves. His reality show was canceled in 2012 after 8 successful seasons. Attempts to revive his TV career met with mixed results. Despite these setbacks, Dog remained determined to bounce back. He tried to launch new projects, including a 2021 show called Dog Unleashed, which promised a raw and censored look at his bounty hunting world. But even this comeback effort ended abruptly amid allegations of inappropriate behavior on set, lawsuits, and accusations that further tarnish his name. Fans who had once admired Dog's tough but caring personality now questioned who he really was beneath the leather vest. Was he a man dedicated to justice and second chances, or was he a relic struggling to stay relevant in a changing world? These controversies marked a turning point. The legend of Dog the Bounty Hunter was being rewritten, and not always in his favor. What had started as a tale of redemption was now overshadowed by scandal, conflict, and questions about how far he was willing to go to protect his legacy. But the biggest tests were still ahead. Personal tragedies that would shake Dog to his core and change everything forever. As Dog's television career slowed, he shifted his focus toward politics, a move that reignited controversy and divided his once loyal fan base. His political comments, often blunt and polarizing, pushed him further from the mainstream spotlight and into the heat of public debate. In early 2024, Dog made headlines for declaring his support for former President Donald Trump and expressing willingness to join a potential future Trump administration. He even coined the idea of a deportation czar, a position he claimed he would be uniquely qualified for, to oversee immigration enforcement, a hot-button topic that instantly drew both cheers and boos. But Dog's political statements didn't stop there. In a widely publicized interview, he compared President Joe Biden to Adolf Hitler, a comparison that shocked many and was met with widespread condemnation. The remarks were seen as extreme, alienating many moderate fans and prompting harsh criticism from political analysts, civil rights groups, and fellow celebrities alike. Social media erupted with reactions. Supporters praised Dog for his unfiltered approach and loyalty to conservative values. They saw him as someone unafraid to speak his mind, unafraid of political correctness. However, detractors argued that Dog's rhetoric was dangerous, divisive, and damaging to a figure who had once represented second chances and compassion. This political turn polarized Dog's audience. For years, viewers had connected with the more complex, emotional sides of Dog, the man who prayed with fugitives, offered forgiveness, and believed in redemption. But these new hardline political positions clashed with that image, leaving many feeling betrayed. Sponsors and media outlets quickly took note. Several companies distanced themselves from Dog, pulling endorsements and dropping collaborations. Television networks that once welcomed him with open arms now saw him as a liability. Invitations to appear on mainstream platforms became scarce. Even within his own family and close circles, Dog's outspoken political views caused tension. Reports surfaced of disagreements between Dog and Beth Chapman's family members, who feared that his political stances would overshadow the legacy they had all worked so hard to build together. Yet Dog seemed undeterred. For him, the political arena was a new battleground, a way to stay relevant and wield influence. He leaned into the controversy, doubling down on his statements and using social media to rally supporters. But the backlash was significant. Many longtime fans who admired Dog for his unique blend of toughness and heart drifted away. The man who once embodied redemption now risked being remembered for the political firestorms he sparked. As his political ambitions clashed with his public persona, Dog faced a precarious crossroads. Would his passion for politics destroy the goodwill he had earned? Or could he find a way to balance his beliefs with the complex legacy he had built over decades? What lay ahead was uncertain, but it was clear that Dog's journey was far from over. The coming years would challenge not only his career, but his identity, his relationships, and his future in ways no one could have predicted. Beth Chapman wasn't just Dog's wife. She was his anchor, his partner in every sense, and a fierce personality who matched his energy step for step. For years, their relationship was a cornerstone of the show and a powerful symbol of love, resilience, and family loyalty. But everything changed in 2017 when Beth was diagnosed with stage 2 throat cancer, a diagnosis that shocked fans and changed Dog's life forever. Beth faced the battle with the same grit and determination she showed chasing fugitives on screen. The couple shared their journey openly with fans, creating a raw and honest documentary called Dog and Beth, Fight of Their Lives. It wasn't just about cancer treatments and hospital visits. It was about hope, faith, and fighting for every breath. Fans saw Beth undergo chemotherapy, radiation, and countless setbacks. But through it all, she maintained her tough spirit and unwavering support for Dog and their family. Despite the treatments, Beth's cancer returned aggressively. By 2019, it spread to her lungs, severely impacting her health. She was hospitalized in Hawaii after experiencing serious breathing difficulties, and the family was forced to prepare for the worst. On June 26, 2019, Beth Chapman passed away at the age of 51, leaving Dog and her children devastated. Her death was a profound loss, not just for Dog, but for millions of fans who had come to see their relationship as a beacon of strength. Beth had been the heart of the operation, the voice of reason, and the fiery soul who kept the family united. Without her, Dog was adrift, grappling with grief that was both intensely personal and publicly visible. In the weeks and months after Beth's passing, Dog's pain was laid bare. Social media posts, interviews, and videos showed a man struggling to cope. His grief was raw and unfiltered, a stark contrast to the tough bounty hunter persona. Many fans rallied around him, sending messages of support and sharing their own stories of loss. But grief also brought challenges. Dog's mental health suffered, and rumors circulated about his struggles with depression and substance use. The man who once chased fugitives now found himself fighting battles at home, facing the reality that no amount of toughness could prepare him for this kind of pain. Beth's death marked a turning point in Dog's life. It exposed the vulnerabilities behind the fame and toughness and forced him to confront a future without his partner. Their story had inspired millions, but also served as a reminder that even legends are human. In the years since Beth's passing, Dog has spoken openly about his ongoing journey with grief and healing. While the pain remains, he continues to honor Beth's memory by staying close to family and finding ways to move forward. Beth Chapman's battle and passing are a critical chapter in understanding Dog's story. It's a chapter about love, loss, and the fragility of life, a chapter that reshaped the bounty hunter's path forever. Behind the cameras and the adrenaline-pumping captures, the Chapman family drama was as intense as any fugitive hunt. While the public saw a close-knit family united by their shared mission, the reality was far more complicated. Over the years, internal conflicts, legal troubles, and personal struggles bubbled beneath the surface, threatening to tear the family apart. Dog's children played significant roles in the bounty hunting business, especially Leland Chapman, who often appeared on the show. But working so closely with family isn't always smooth sailing. There were reports of clashes over business decisions, leadership, and personal disagreements. At times, these conflicts spilled out into public view, with heated social media posts and interviews revealing rifts that fans found surprising. One of the most publicized family incidents involved Leland's own legal issues. In 2016, Leland was arrested in Texas on felony charges related to alleged misconduct during a bounty hunting operation. Though the charges were eventually dropped, the incident brought unwanted media attention and strained relationships within the family. The event fueled rumors of tension between Leland and Dog, with some insiders suggesting that Dog was frustrated with his son's behavior. Beth Chapman also had her share of struggles within the family dynamic. Diagnosed with cancer during this turbulent period, she was often caught between managing her health, supporting Dog, and trying to hold the family together. The emotional toll was immense, and her illness added layers of complexity to an already fragile situation. Dog's extended family also became involved in the drama. His son-in-law, who was a key figure in their bounty hunting operations, faced his own controversies, including allegations of violence and legal disputes. These issues sometimes erupted in the media, causing negative headlines that dogged the Chapman name. Despite these problems, the family often presented a united front for the cameras, showing moments of love, support, and reconciliation. But behind the scenes, tension simmered. The pressure of running a family business under public scrutiny, combined with the dangerous nature of bounty hunting, created an environment ripe for conflict. This ongoing family drama added a human element to Dog's story. It showed that fame and success don't shield anyone from personal struggles. Instead, they often magnify them. For Dog, balancing his roles as a father, husband, and bounty hunter was a constant challenge. His desire to protect and support his family sometimes clashed with the harsh realities of their lifestyle. These struggles shaped his decisions and influenced the course of his career. Understanding the family's internal conflicts helps explain some of the choices Dog made later, including stepping back from the spotlight and focusing more on personal matters. In the end, the Chapman family drama was a reminder that even the toughest bounty hunter couldn't control everything, especially when it came to family. Dog the Bounty Hunter wasn't just a reality TV star. He was also a businessman navigating the complex world of law enforcement, entertainment, and family entrepreneurship. Over the years, his bounty hunting business experienced both remarkable successes and significant setbacks that shaped his public image and financial stability. At its peak, Dog's bail bond and bounty hunting business was a well-oiled machine with multiple team members, including family, working tirelessly to capture fugitives. Their skill and daring methods made headlines and attracted clients nationwide, expanding their reach beyond Hawaii to the mainland United States. The business model wasn't just about money, it was about reputation. Every capture reinforced their credibility and built trust with bail bond companies who relied on them to bring fugitives back swiftly. The television show Dog the Bounty Hunter played a crucial role in elevating the brand. The camera crews followed the team during real hunts, capturing the suspense, tension, and occasional bursts of humor that made viewers come back episode after episode. The show's popularity boosted their business by turning the Chapmans into household names and soon merchandise. Speaking engagements and appearances became additional revenue streams. However, success brought its own challenges. The increased fame led to heightened scrutiny from law enforcement and regulatory agencies. Dog's team often operated in a legal gray area, crossing state lines and sometimes foreign borders to apprehend fugitives. This aggressive approach, while effective, led to several legal battles and accusations of unauthorized actions, including a notorious arrest in Mexico during the Andrew Luster capture. Financial difficulties also emerged as lawsuits and fines piled up. The family's business faced setbacks when some clients accused them of unethical practices or mishandling cases. These disputes sometimes played out publicly, damaging the company's reputation and creating tension among the team members. The rise of digital media and changes in law enforcement policies also impacted the business model. Increased regulations on bounty hunting and bail bonds, combined with evolving public opinions on the justice system, meant that Dog had to adapt. The traditional bounty hunting business was no longer as lucrative or straightforward as it had been a decade earlier. Dog attempted to pivot his business by launching new ventures, including reality shows with different formats, public speaking tours, and endorsements. While some of these efforts found moderate success, none matched the impact or revenue of the original series. The death of Beth Chapman was another blow to the business. She was integral not only to the family, but also to the operation itself, managing many behind-the-scenes details. Her absence left a void that was difficult to fill, both emotionally and professionally. Despite these challenges, Dog remained determined to keep his business alive. He leveraged his fame and experience to stay relevant, even as the bounty hunting world evolved and the entertainment industry shifted. But balancing the demands of a high-profile career with the complexities of the business was a constant uphill battle. In the end, the story of Dog's business is one of resilience and adaptation, marked by impressive victories and tough losses. It reveals another side of the bounty hunter's life, one that's about strategy, risk, and survival beyond the adrenaline-fueled captures. Dog the Bounty Hunter journey has always been tightly intertwined with media portrayal, but over time, public perception shifted dramatically. The man who once embodied a rough-around-the-edges hero was increasingly seen through a more complicated lens, shaped by changing cultural attitudes and media scrutiny. In the early 2000s, Dog's TV show captured a wide audience by blending the excitement of bounty hunting with raw family dynamics and moments of vulnerability. Viewers were drawn not only to the adrenaline rush of catching fugitives, but also to the Chapmans' loyalty and belief in second chances. The media portrayed Dog as a renegade with a heart, a rebel who wasn't afraid to bend rules but ultimately sought justice. However, as social and political climates evolved, so did the criticism. What was once considered edgy and entertaining began to be seen by some as outdated or even problematic. Dog's often brash behavior, colorful language, and controversial statements were scrutinized more harshly. Media outlets started highlighting moments where his actions seemed to cross ethical lines, or where his remarks were perceived as offensive. Social media amplified this shift. Fans and critics alike had platforms to voice opinions instantly and widely. Clips from the show were dissected, and moments that might have been overlooked before were now viral fodder for criticism or mockery. The internet's unforgiving nature made it difficult for Dog to control his narrative. Moreover, the rise of social justice movements brought increased attention to the way law enforcement and bounty hunters operate, particularly regarding race, legality, and use of force. Dog's sometimes confrontational style and past incidents involving racially charged language led to public backlash. Articles, think pieces, and commentary questioned whether his approach was compatible with modern values. The media's fascination with Dog's personal life didn't help either. Stories about his legal troubles, family conflicts, and Beth's illness kept him in headlines, sometimes sympathetically, sometimes critically. Tabloid coverage often sensationalized these events, blurring the line between fact and speculation. Dog himself attempted to navigate this changing landscape, using social media to connect directly with fans and share a side of the story. Yet his blunt style sometimes fueled more controversy. His political endorsements and controversial comments further polarized public opinion, narrowing his appeal. Despite the negative press, Dog retained a loyal core of supporters who admired his grit and authenticity. Many praised his willingness to speak openly about his flaws and struggles. But the shift in public perception meant that his brand wasn't the universal draw it once was. This evolving media narrative also affected opportunities. Networks became wary of associating with him, advertisers hesitated, and the window for major TV deals narrowed. Dog's legacy was being reassessed. No longer just a thrilling bounty hunter, but a figure wrapped in controversy and complexity. Understanding this media and public perception shift is crucial. It explains why Dog's presence faded from mainstream TV and why his attempts at comebacks face hurdles. His story is a vivid example of how fame can be fleeting and how the court of public opinion can change quickly. After years of ups and downs, Dog the Bounty Hunter's career faced a critical juncture. Could he stage a comeback, or was his moment in the spotlight over? Despite the controversies and personal tragedies, Dog refused to fade quietly, seeking to reclaim relevance in a changing media landscape. In 2021, Dog launched Dog Unleashed, a reality series that promised a raw and censored look into the world of bounty hunting. The show aimed to capture the gritty reality of his life and work without the polished veneer of previous seasons. Fans hoped this return would remind the world why Dog was once a beloved figure in reality TV. However, Dog Unleashed was met with mixed reactions. While some praised a more authentic approach, others criticized it for lacking the emotional depth and family dynamics that had made the original series so compelling. Legal disputes arose behind the scenes, including accusations of inappropriate behavior from crew members and conflicts over contracts, which complicated production. Dog's own public persona during this period was erratic. His outspoken political views, combined with social media outbursts, alienated some supporters. The divide in his fan base grew more apparent, with longtime followers feeling disconnected from a man they once admired. Financially, the comeback efforts were a gamble. Television deals were harder to secure, and advertising revenue didn't match previous levels. The evolving entertainment industry, with new streaming platforms and changing viewer preferences, posed a challenge for any revival of a traditional reality show format. Despite these obstacles, Dog remained persistent. He engaged with fans on social media, sharing behind-the-scenes glimpses, personal reflections, and calls to action. His honesty about his struggles with grief, mental health, and family issues garnered sympathy from parts of the audience. Dog also diversified his efforts by exploring speaking engagements and limited appearances, hoping to leverage his celebrity beyond television. These moves kept him in the public eye, but didn't restore the wide-reaching influence he once held. Crucially, Dog's comeback attempts showed his refusal to be defined solely by controversy or tragedy. He sought to remind the world of his original message: redemption, second chances, and the pursuit of justice, even if the delivery had shifted. Yet the challenges remained steep. The entertainment landscape had evolved, and audiences had grown more critical. Dog faced a difficult task of balancing his authentic self with the expectations of a new generation of viewers who demanded more accountability and sensitivity. Whether Dog's comeback efforts will ultimately succeed is still uncertain. But what's clear is his determination to stay in the game, fighting not just fugitives, but also the changing tides of fame and public opinion. Dog the Bounty Hunter story is far more than a reality TV show or a string of high-profile captures. His legacy is complex, layered with triumphs, controversies, and profound personal challenges that continue to shape how he is remembered. At his best, Dog represented a unique blend of toughness and compassion. He wasn't just chasing criminals. He was a man who believed in second chances, redemption, and the power of family. The way he openly showed vulnerability, especially in his relationship with Dog Chapman, humanized a profession often seen as harsh and unforgiving. For many fans, Dog was an unlikely hero, someone who broke the mold of traditional law enforcement with his unfiltered personality and emotional honesty. His impact extended beyond entertainment. Dog helped bring bounty hunting into the public eye, educating audiences about the realities and dangers of the job. His style, brash, direct, and unafraid of confrontation, created a new blueprint for reality TV antiheroes. The family-centered narrative also highlighted the complexities of blending business, law enforcement, and family life. However, his legacy is not without controversy. Dog's outspoken political views and some past remarks have alienated parts of his audience and sparked debates about the responsibilities of public figures. His legal troubles and family conflicts complicate the narrative, showing that no legacy is without flaws. Dog Chapman's role in his story is equally important. Their partnership symbolized resilience and devotion, and her passing profoundly affected Dog and their fan base. Her battle with cancer and her impact on the family's business are central to understanding the man behind the bounty hunter persona. Dog's journey also reflects larger cultural shifts. The changing perceptions of law enforcement, reality TV, and celebrity accountability are mirrored in the evolution of his public image. His struggles with grief, family drama, and political controversy highlight the challenges faced by public figures navigating fame in a rapidly changing world. In many ways, Dog's story is a cautionary tale about the price of fame and the difficulties of sustaining a public career over decades. It reminds us that behind every headline is a human story, messy, complicated, and deeply personal. For fans and critics alike, Dog the Bounty Hunter remains a fascinating figure. His impact on reality TV and popular culture is undeniable, even as debates about his legacy continue. Whether seen as a flawed hero or a controversial figure, Dog's influence is felt far beyond the captures and the cameras. After decades in the public eye, Dog the Bounty Hunter faces an uncertain future. The man who once seemed unstoppable now stands at a crossroads, balancing the weight of his past with a desire to find new purpose and peace. So, what's next for Dog Chapman? First, Dog has shown a deep commitment to family, perhaps the most important element of his life. Since Beth's passing, he's been focused on rebuilding bonds with his children and grandchildren. This personal shift suggests a quieter chapter ahead, one that prioritizes healing and connection over high-profile captures and TV drama. Professionally, Dog's options are mixed. The changing landscape of reality TV and the entertainment industry means a full-scale comeback might be tough. Yet, his loyal fan base still remains, eager to see what he does next. Whether that means smaller projects, speaking engagements, or mentorship roles in the bounty hunting world, Dog seems ready to adapt. He's also spoken publicly about his ongoing battles with grief and mental health. This openness has opened doors for advocacy and awareness efforts. It wouldn't be surprising to see Dog use his platform to help others struggling with loss or addiction, turning his painful experiences into a source of hope for fans. Dog's political controversies and outspoken nature have created divisions, but they also highlight a man unafraid to speak his mind, even if it costs him popularity. Moving forward, how he manages his public persona will be key to his relevance. A more measured, reflective Dog might resonate with wider audiences and create new opportunities. On the business front, Dog's experience is invaluable. He could pivot to consulting, training, or even writing memoirs that share the untold stories behind the headlines. These ventures would allow him to preserve his legacy while stepping away from the spotlight. Ultimately, Dog's next steps will reflect his ability to balance his past with a future that feels authentic and meaningful. It's a chance to redefine what it means to be Dog the Bounty Hunter, not just as a television figure, but as a man who's lived through triumph, tragedy, and transformation. One thing is clear, Dog's story is far from over. Whether he returns to the cameras or chooses a quieter life, his journey continues to captivate and inspire. His legacy is a reminder that even those who seem larger than life face the same struggles and choices as everyone else. So, what really happened to Dog the Bounty Hunter? The answer is still unfolding, layered with resilience, loss, and the unending quest for redemption. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more stories. See you next time.